Look at that. Yeah, 356 of A to the Show with Sujata today. Hey, welcome to the show and congratulations. Your film's coming out on Netflix soon, right?
Yeah, on Friday. It's wild. It's exciting.
Check it out. I can't wait to watch it.
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
Definition, please, right? Is what it's called?
Yes, definition, please.
You want to tell us about more what your film's about?
Sure. So Definition, Please is about a young woman who, as a kid, won the National Spelling Bee. And now she is older and she hasn't achieved anything else in her life. She still lives at home. She's taking care of her mom. And then her brother comes home who's estranged. So there's some family drama happening there as well.
Oh, cool. All right. And it's coming out soon. It's coming out this Friday. Does it have any similarities to your life? Did you ever win a spelling bee when you were a kid or something?
I did.
What made you want to make?
I did win a spelling bee when I was a kid. In fourth grade, I won my class spelling bee, but it wasn't a really big deal because we only had 8 people in our grade. And then I went on to regionals and I lost in the first round on the word radish.
Oh, wow. RADISH.
Yes, that's how you spell it correctly.
You spell it.
I used 2 D's instead of 1.
Oh, damn, that was a close one.
Big mistake.
Mistake.
Hey, and also, you've been in a lot of great TV shows, and what made you want to pivot to working on a feature film, right? It's you're directing it and you're writing it and you're in it. So like TV obviously is what's making money and what a lot of people are doing, and you have experience doing it. So what do you mean?
I made millions on Definition, Please. Millions.
Yes.
Millions of dollars.
That's every feature filmmaker, right? Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was that hard of a pivot actually, because I'll take it all the way back to the web series that I was on, Issa Rae's Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. And she was writing and acting in it and telling her story. And I was super inspired by that. So even though that form was web series, I knew that I wanted to create no matter what form it was, even if it was television or short film or feature film. So I did a couple web series, and then I did my short film, which you can see behind me, Cowboy and Indian, in 2016. And that did the film festival circuit, and it was really successful. And I've also sold it twice to 2 different studios as a television show. So it was a natural progression that led to the writing of Definition, Please, the feature film, and creating it.
Oh, wow. Do you want to tell us more about what's the difference between working on TV versus working on a feature, right? I imagine it's a big difference. And how did, you went from, web series, like shows, short film to feature film. You can see the progression there. But what is the difference?
I think the difference lies in television shows are generally produced by studios and networks, and there's a lot of money behind them, and you have a budget to have a set and hire a gigantic crew and a really great cast. And in big budget filmmaking, you also have the opportunity to do that. But of course, my film was independent film, so we had to go out. I invested a lot of the funds into it myself and found friends and family to invest money into it to form, the total budget of the film. And so it was more of a scrappy, let's pull it together and get to my hometown of Greensburg, Pennsylvania, and get all my cast and crew out there and shoot the film. And it was definitely a labor of love because everyone came together. It was a very positive, fun atmosphere. The community of my small town in Pennsylvania really came together. They were as excited about it as we were. So I think in independent filmmaking, you really have to use your friends and your family and make sure that they're caring about the thing that you're creating, because it all comes down to collaboration, really.
For some reason, I've noticed smaller independent kind of films have a much bigger focus on the type of quality of acting and like, you know, what can they produce from the people that are working in it. What do you think is the difference between, you know, these small movies and the major films?
Well, I think the difference is if you are making a major film, you have to cast stars. That's a given. Yeah. That's number one priority, is to get a Benedict Cumberbatch, is to get a Scarlett Johansson. Otherwise, the movie's just not going to get made, and it's not going to get the $100 million budget. So, to be honest, in independent film, it's actually really hard to get stars because you can't afford them. So sometimes you're just casting, and you're honestly looking for the best actor for the role, because it's not about star power or celebrity. And that's really exciting about independent film, because especially independent film made by people of color, because I think there's still a long way to go in terms of creating stars of color, in terms of creating Black stars and Indian American stars and Asian stars. And so it's really exciting to be able to be in that filmmaking community that cares about the art. And honestly, like, if I could cast Benedict Cumberbatch as something, I would. But like, what's his info? You know, like I can't just text him. Like, I'll email his agent, and that email will get ignored. So at the end of the day, we're all trying to cast the best people for the roles.
I see. By the way, we have a fan coming in to join us, Ali Shamiri. The other Ali is gonna come.
Okay, cool.
What else am I gonna ask you about? Oh, here's Ali. Let's wait for him to come in. Hey there, Ali. If you're there, we're ready for you. Welcome, Ali. Beautiful to see you again.
Hello.
We're here with the great Sujata today. Great independent filmmaker / actress. How amazing. All right, let's continue on with the topic we were just talking about. What is more satisfying for you? You've been acting, you've been directing, you've been writing. What is the part of it that you feel like gives you the most enjoyment?
I love acting. I went into entertainment to act, and I started writing because I wasn't auditioning for roles that I wanted to play, to be honest. I was auditioning for a lot of stereotypical roles, roles that where I would have to put on an accent, roles where I would have to put on a headscarf, even though I'm not Muslim, I'm Hindu. And so Hollywood was writing these roles that
I can relate.
Yeah.
We're Arab, so we know.
Right,
so we know
exactly.
Know exactly what you're talking about.
You look a little like us.
Yeah, they mix us up. They mix us up all the time. And so I was just getting frustrated by the roles that I was getting to audition for. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna Issa did it. So I'm gonna write the role that I want to play. And so right around the time of Awkward Black Girl, I really honed my writing in terms of being very specific to my point of view about an Indian American girl growing up here in the suburbs. And that's been my focus in my writing. And I don't think a lot of other people are doing that. I think what's exciting is that there is this, I have many female friends who are also filmmakers, and we had some really great kind of diaspora films come out this past year, like India Sweets and Spices and Hot Mess Holiday, and genre films. I think we can really take over every single genre, and you know, rom-com, whatever it is, let's just like get in there and do it.
Right. Amazing. Yeah, I agree.
For me, what I want to know is like, how are you able to, like in the new feature film that you've created, how are you able to do all three roles at the same time, the writing, the acting, and the directing? I mean, that is not a simple task to do, to be honest.
So definitely with the writing, what I did was as soon as we had a shooting script, I put it away. So I wasn't allowed to touch it anymore. So then that was over. My writing hat was off. And then I could focus on producing and directing and acting. So with the acting, I just, you know, ahead of time, I would have rehearsals with my actors where I played kind of actor and director, obviously.
Nice.
But I also would memorize my lines, be super prepared. In terms of writing my role, I made sure that my role wasn't the emotionally heavy role in the film, because I knew that once I got on set, I wanted to really focus on the directing and make sure that I was there for my actors. So the character that has the emotionally taxing role is actually Ritesh Rajan, who plays Sunny. So I'm more reacting to what he's giving me. And he's so amazing. He came to rehearsal and he was like, he was at my apartment and just like started bawling on my couch through his scenes. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta like bring my acting up to his level. Like he was just like bringing it and it was amazing. And so as a director, I just made sure to cast the best cast that I could get. And honestly, a lot of those were my friends. I texted people and luckily they said yes. And directing wise, once I got on set, I made sure that it was all about making my cast and crew feel comfortable, making sure that they're having fun in the process. We're out there in a small town, and it was really fun. In terms of directing, you really have to adapt to a lot of things. So maybe the movie that comes out isn't the movie that you initially envisioned. You know, it's not suddenly Moonlight.
I have a question for you. So
yeah.
Because I have nothing to do with the entertainment industry at all, right? So I really
other than the podcast.
You kind of are, bro.
Well, technically speaking, all I do is just, sit here, talk, and then that's all I do. But the whole behind the scenes thing, I'm not really too. So, and especially when it comes to filming movies. So you're an actor and you are a director, right? So the scenes that you have to act out, are you directing at the same time, or how does that work? So run me through that process right
Yes,
now.
I am. So I'm there in the scene, and I think it actually helps that I'm an actor because I know emotionally when we got the scene because I'm in the scene.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
But the other part of that, and this goes back to collaboration and making sure that you have the best crew that you have. So with my director of photography, Brooks Ludwig, we had a lot of movie dates before actually shooting the movie. We communicated a lot. We talked about, we shot handheld. It was all handheld photography. So we watched Wong Kar-wai films and I was like, these shots. We watched Monsoon Wedding because that's kind of a similar tone where it balances the comedy and the drama. And so I would show him different shots that I really liked or enjoyed. And then once we got to set, a lot of directors have time to watch playback. Because we were an independent film, I didn't have time to watch playback after he was shooting or after we shot a film or a scene, then I could not watch the playback. I just had to trust that he got it. So if we as actors got it, I would like look over to Brooks and I was like, we got it, right? And he's like, we got it. And so I didn't see any of the footage until after we had shot the whole thing.
Right.
Wow.
And you also mentioned like how you try to make your actors feel comfortable during on set. But obviously some directors, tend to be a bit maybe sometimes aggressive with their actors or they like push them over the limit.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking?
Maybe I don't know, but I don't know. It's like example is Tarantino. I've heard some stories, and he can push you over the limit. I don't know how you are with your actors. So obviously, as an actress yourself, how does that feed into the acting part?
Being an actress first feeds into it 100%. So basically, on Insecure, we had two amazing Black female directors, Tina Mabry and Debbie Allen. And those days on set they both just made you feel, first of all, they were really confident in what they wanted and what they wanted the scene to look like. They were very confident in what they wanted to get from you as an actor. As an actor, no matter how small of a role we were, they would make you feel like you were the star. And then another addition to how Debbie and Tina were they were very nurturing. almost like a mom. And I was like, whoa, I've never like felt that before. And a male director that I've ever had has never had that before.
So what do you mean like a mom? As your director, like a
very
mom?
nurturing. Like for example, Debbie Allen, who's a legend. I don't know if you guys know who Debbie Allen is, but she's a famous choreographer, actress, director, all of the things. Like go ahead and Google her after you're done with this episode.
I'll do it right now. How do you spell it?
Debbialen. And
she was on a spelling bee. Yeah.
So basically she was like playing with my hair while she was giving us notes for the scene. And it felt great. And I was like, and it was very calming and restful. To be honest, a male director could never do that. Right?
No.
Because
right.
He'd be flagged for sexual harassment.
Exactly. So that I thought was so interesting. And not that I'm like, oh, I'm going to play with people's hair where I'm on set with them, but I'm going to make sure that my actors have that same kind of feeling that I got, which was relaxed and safe and important and critical to the shoot. And so that is the kind of energy that I channel when I direct.
I think it also has to do with the personality of the person, the individual who's actually, you know, playing with your hair.
True. Because if she looks like that, and I don't know if that's her or not.
That is her.
But she kind of looks like a mom. So if she played with my hair, I'd be like, hey, you know what I mean? But
she's
like
incredible.
If someone like Eddie, who is a film director, started playing with my hair, I'm sorry, Eddie, I've known you for years, but no.
Right. It's a different kind of context. Yeah,
I guess.
So I think what's important to kind of point out is that, you know, there aren't a lot of women directors. So for women who are listening to this podcast, it's like lean into what we are when you're on set, when you're directing. I mean, another director has said, we played with dolls when we were little and we were acting them out and giving them lines and we were directing dolls. Exactly. That's what we did. Exactly. So that's what we can do now.
Right.
Well, I used to do that with like toy soldiers.
Action figures, right? Wow.
But we were directing soldiers, so it's completely different.
We got some experience, boys. Let's make a movie. Come on. Let's do it.
It's not how it works.
Is it?
Goes,
is your film? Ali, you have Netflix, right?
Yeah, I do.
Is your film gonna be out internationally, or is it just what's the release like?
So right now,
whenever they say it's always so.
I mean, hopefully it does well in these territories first, and then it will roll out internationally. So the first 5 countries that it will drop on January 21st are US, Canada, UK, New Zealand, and Australia.
All right, so I can see it. I'm in the UK.
Let's go.
This is why VPNs exist.
Right?
So
stream that.
So can you give us like a sneak peek on what the movie is about?
We already went over what the movie is about.
Oh, yeah. You did? Oops. My bad.
Also, our trailer just dropped on Fridays.
We can watch it right now.
Let's go.
I think Ali has to do it because you're in Kuwait. You're in Jordan, bro. So you don't have
YouTube
access to
YouTube.
You realize this, right?
right. My bad. Go ahead.
Here, let me just pull it up. Can I get the name of the...
So it should be Array Releasing. I believe that's the site. And that's Ava DuVernay's company. They picked up the film and put it on Netflix.
Amazing. And before
just give me a second to pull it up.
Before he pulls it up, like what was the process? So you made the film and then you sent it out to film festivals and then
we did the whole virtual film festival circuit for 1.5 years, which was really positive, really fun. We picked up a lot of awards and just kind of, you know, sent the film out to distributors, got a lot of no's, got a lot of rejection. But that's normal in our field. So, I mean, as an actress, I get rejected 10 times a week from auditions and stuff. So rejections don't really affect me emotionally.
Right. Oh, wow. You're past it. You just kept going at it. And then I want to ask you about like the virtual film festival situation. What was that like compared to, because you did your short film, right? Cowboy and Indian. That was an actual, let me just ask this question real quick. That was an actual film festival, right? So you were watching it, you got to see it versus in a virtual film festival. What was the difference between that experience for you?
So I will say it was a bit of a bummer to do a virtual film festival circuit, because with Cowboy and Indian, to be able to watch the film in a filled theater with an audience was really special. And
that's the hype.
That's the hype. That's where you get your endorphins, that's where the magic happens. So we did miss out on that. We had a few in-person screenings, like one or two. One was at the LA Asian Pacific Film Festival, and it was the first time that I was sitting in a theater. This was October of 2021, and I was sitting in a theater with the audience, and when the first few laughs came in, probably like 3 or 4 minutes into the film, I had tears in my eyes. I couldn't believe it, because by that point I had watched it so many times that I was like, is it funny anymore? I don't know. I don't know if these jokes work, but it was a really special moment.
All right. Well, definition, please.
Special moments. We'll be watching a trailer of your movie right now. Here we go. And let's do this.
Okay, so this is the old trailer.
Oh,
right. Oh, is there a newer one?
Yeah. Newer trailer. Find it, Ali. Do your research.
So Jamie. So that was trailer number 1. So now we want to go to Array, ARRAY. Yeah. Let's see what pulls up.
That's what pulls up, and I don't think that's the right stuff.
That's not. Don't put Netflix. Don't put Netflix.
All right, so just
Array releasing.
Boom.
Yeah, there it is.
1 minute. Let's go.
I am so proud to be able to invite the Scribs Spelling Bee champion, Monica Chowdhury, to our classroom.
That is correct.
Monica Chowdhury? You won the spelling bee. And you're like a legit celebrity.
I guess.
You are both connected by a deep love for your mother. Join forces like Farhan and Zoya.
Farhan and Zoya?
They are brother-sister Bollywood power duo.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Google it, you fools!
You can't just take care of people your whole life without taking care of yourself.
You're pathetic. You got nothing else to do than live at home in your mom's basement and be those little kids in your spare time.
I don't live in the basement. I'm on the 2nd floor. I have my own bathroom. You know that. Why did you come back?
I was never good enough for you.
Sonny protected you for so long. Maybe it's your turn to protect him.
We promised each other that we would get out of this boring-ass town and do big things.
Ladies first.
I don't see any ladies. All I see is a badass bitch.
Okay.
Nice. Let's go.
Fun fact.
Next week.
This table here, where is it? It's about this right here. We play this in Kuwait, where I'm from.
You do?
Yeah, we do.
So we call it carom. You call it carom?
I think we do as well. I think we do. I forgot the name, but it's that one where you like hit it with your finger.
Yeah. You hit it. Yeah.
You got to put baby powder all over the table.
Yeah. And then you're sneezing the whole game because you have baby powder.
But then when you're like 20
nose.
years into this whole situation, you stop sneezing and you're like desensitized. But yeah, but it's a cool movie. Like I can't wait to watch this. It's pretty
same.
cool. And so what does it feel like when you see your name on something so like very official, right? Like it's Netflix, which isn't easy to get on, or so I've heard. I don't know, Eddie, if you can.
I don't know.
Like,
yeah.
So what does it feel like when you read your name written and produced by?
It feels like my hard work has finally paid off. So that's nice. It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get to this place, and I'm gonna appreciate everything that's happening right now, which is really cool. I think something that was awesome that during the virtual film festival circuit, we got a lot of fans along the way in different parts of the country. And so they're really excited to watch it again. and support it and spread the word. So I think that was a really positive effect of the virtual film festival circuit.
Amazing. I want to ask, after watching that trailer, it seems like there's like a, you know, an Indian influence, like with the music and the culture and dancing. And so what has, you know, Bollywood's a huge scene. Do you like those movies, or what influence have they had on you in this film?
So I will say that I'm Bengali. So my
Okay.
parents are from Calcutta, and Bengali film is a huge influence on me. And Satyajit Ray, which is one of our filmmakers, he did the Apu trilogy and
Right.
just really incredible films. And something that he did that I can't believe he did back in the day, he really put women at the forefront of his films with real roles and real meat behind their characters. And that's not something that actually generally happens with Bollywood films. And I love Bollywood films. A lot of the music in my film is inspired by Bollywood, but it's got Bengali lyrics. So at the end of the day, it's a Bengali American film. I really tapped into my own culture. And what was really fun is I have many Indian actors in my film, and some of them are Gujarati, some of them are Punjabi, and some of them are South Indian. And I don't know if you know Parvesh Cheena, but he's in everything. He plays a really fun cameo in my film. And after reading my script, he said, wow, I learned so much about Bengali culture, which is really cool, because now that goes back to like what's being written in Hollywood, which is we're being written as Indians as a monolith. So we're not a monolith. We have different cultures. We eat different food. Like I go to my friend's house and eat their mom's dosas because my mom doesn't know how to make dosas. She's Bengali. So it's exciting to learn about the other cultures within our culture.
Right. I think it's cool because you don't see it.
It's even within India, I believe that there's like a culture within a culture, and let alone like the whole subcontinent, right? I don't know why they call it a sub. It is a whole ass continent. A lot of diversity in that one specific area.
Right.
Also within Bengalis, there's Hindu Bengalis and Muslim Bengalis. And so that's also really cool to kind of explore as well in filmmaking, because I would love to, you know, watch a film about a young Bengali Muslim character. I think that would be interesting to watch.
Yeah, but why? Here's my question, right? So why do we have to wait for a Muslim Bengali to direct the movie? Why can't it be you?
It could be me.
Right? Like, because there's this whole thing, I don't know how it started or where it came from, but I feel like it's very, like, people are too scared to approach the other side of their own culture and try to dive in more and explore it more and try to display it on, you know, TV or on the screen, the big screen. So where do you think that whole issue came from? The fear of touching up on.
So I think the issue is something that has been happening in Hollywood for a very long time, is that a lot of the characters just haven't been written. It goes back to who is writing it, right? So I think it's very important for a Bengali Muslim to write that script. Now, in terms of directing, I think that person can find who best fits for his or her script that he has written. But at the end of the day, in Hollywood, there are tons of writers' rooms, right? And you can tell if there's, for example, let's not even talk about Bengali Muslim. Let's talk about a Muslim character, right? So let's talk about a Muslim character in a TV show that maybe they're the only Muslim character. You can tell when that character has been written by someone who's Muslim, and it's different from someone who writes it who's not Muslim. So I think it's important, especially in that writer's room, to have at least one Muslim person in there to make sure that that character is fully fleshed out and not just a kind of a stereotype.
Right. Interesting. Right.
I'm tired of stereotypes, honestly. We've seen too many of those, especially like the Arab community. We've seen way too many stereotypes, and also the Indian community. We've seen a lot of stereotypes, and I think maybe it's a thing of the past.
Something that I like to bring up is Aladdin. Okay.
Right. Love that.
Oh
so,
my god.
Ellie,
So-
this is your fault.
so Aladdin is interesting because it is somehow they meshed all of our cultures into
Yeah,
one
they did.
movie. And so I really, in terms of the casting, it was hard for me to get angry about the casting because it is about who wrote this, who created this, and they made it a mesh of all of our cultures. So at the end of the day, it could be cast with someone from the Middle East to India to almost Asia, you know, because they just like took in kind of the Great China Wall with Agra and the Taj Mahal, with what's happening in the Middle East with the desert and everything out there, and the Bengal tiger, which is from Calcutta. So it's a very interesting mesh of cultures. When I was little, obviously I wanted to be Princess Jasmine, but now that I'm an adult, I'm like, where's our Indian princess? I want an Indian princess, and then there should be an Arab princess, and there should be a Chinese princess, you know? So I think what's happening right now in Hollywood is very, very necessary and good in terms of that authentic stories are being told and written by the voices that represent them. And that's, at the end of the day, it's all about the script and it's all about the writer.
True. And just
I think at this
commenting on
point
what
we
you
shouldn't
said
really
about-
wait. We don't have to wait for like others to write these kind of stories anymore. I mean, Arabs should just go out there and start writing their own material, their own stories, and try to sell them to these
Yes.
to these big production companies. Hopefully one of them gets picked up and then we get proper representation. Because as you were saying, how there's different what's called religions and ethnicities and cultures in India and Bengal and all of the above. I'm sorry, it's like my geography is a bit terrible. But like even in the Arab world, we also, for us, they think like we're all Muslims. And that's
We're
not
all
exactly
one,
true.
yeah.
Because like, yeah, because like we have Christians, we have Jews, we have Druze, we have, like in Lebanon alone, we have like 18 sects. And it's a very small country, you know, like we're a population of 4 million.
Yeah.
So representation is definitely important, and we should be the ones to be pushing for it, because we're not going to wait for a white person to push it for us.
Right. Exactly.
Last time we waited for a white person, they produced Aladdin. Just saying.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
Just saying.
Right.
But I mean, it is kind of what we get for like relying on someone like Walt Disney to do it. For touching up on, I remember the first time I watched Aladdin, I was like, people got outraged, and I was laughing. I was like, that's not Arab at all. That's
right.
Like they're Bollywood. They're Bollywood.
I don't even think I'm gonna say that I don't think it's even Disney's fault, because if you go back to the original story, it's written by a non-brown person. So at the end of the day, it's this the source material, I believe, is not authentic.
Yeah. Let me check that for a second. So who originally wrote Aladdin?
Who originally wrote Aladdin?
I really
yeah,
wanna
that's
know.
interesting. I want to ask you a little
like a Walter Green or something like that.
This is
Walter
like
Green.
the whitest pair of.
Is it?
Like,
can we see it?
Dude, you can. Can you see it? Check this out. Like what are
I see
their
Kevin
names?
Lima. Right.
Kevin,
Yeah,
Chris,
right.
Roger. I don't see no Muhammad.
Right.
I don't see no.
It's not a very diverse group of white people either, man. It's just like, you know, the
They
purest white
literally
people.
look like they could be cousins.
Right. Maybe I put us in a monolith. We are kind of almost wrapping up on time, so I do want to ask, like, what's kind of next for you, Sujata? Now that you've done this cool movie, what's next?
Yeah, I have written a lot of scripts over the pandemic, so I am in pre-production for my next feature film that I will also shoot back in Pennsylvania. I love shooting in